Good evening, everyone. I'm Mayor Wayne Messam from the beautiful city of Miramar. On behalf of the Miramar City Commission, we are so happy that you have taken time to come out to this town hall meeting to talk about a very important issue, which is actually no secret these days in terms of an application that has been filed to drill oil just 6 miles due west of our city limits. We put together this town hall meeting basically to cover some information about discussing the facts about the application process, on how we can galvanize as a community around this application, as well as look at the various options.
Thank you for joining us. Miramar TV presents. We're here this evening for Mayor Wayne Messam's town hall meeting regarding the oil drilling in Broward County. And we're sitting here with Broward County Commissioner Barbara Sharif. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
As a county commissioner, can you tell us why this issue is an important issue for the residents of Broward County?
Well, first of all, our Everglades represents about 2/3 of Broward County, and it is our sole source aquifer for our water in Broward County. And so we have, as a county commission, unanimously voted to protect that, and that included the zoning of the Everglades as unpermitted land for drilling. And so at this time, the fact that a permit has been requested doesn't necessarily mean that one is going to be issued.
And what additional steps, if any, is Broward County taking or prepared to take to ensure that the residents' voices are heard with regard to this issue?
So the first thing that has to happen is whenever anybody wants to apply for a drilling permit in the Everglades or anywhere in Broward County, is one, they have to go through the Department of Environmental Protection at the state level. Once that occurs, the state would either deny or approve the permit. Historically, the state has denied these types of permits. The second thing that would have to happen is that once the state denied or approved, if they have approved it, it would come before the county commission for review. The county commission would then have to rezone the Everglades for drilling, and then there's 9 other permit applications that would have to go through for us on our environmental level and for the impacts to our local cities and to our aquifer. So there's just so much I would say red tape that has to occur before anything like this could happen. But the reason why residents should be informed about this is because this is our aquifer. This is where we get our water source from. This is a preserve for our nature and wildlife habitats here in Broward County, and for the species that we want our kids to grow up and continue to see. And so for all those reasons, you know, we've been protecting our environmental stewards, so to speak, and I think that the community should support us on that.
Absolutely. We really appreciate Broward County's efforts in addressing this issue. Can you tell the residents of Broward County how they can get more information through Broward County?
So basically, if you would like more information about oil drilling or about the Everglades and about our conservation efforts and preservation, you can always dial 954-357-7008, which is my office number for Broward County Commission District 8, and we would be more than happy to provide information. We also have an Environmental Protection Board that if you're interested in joining, you can. Each of the commissioners has an appointee, and so if you're interested in environmental issues, I just urge you to get involved.
Well, we'd like to thank again Broward County Commissioner Barbara Sharif for joining us this evening, and thank you for tuning in to Miramar TV.
Well, this is a critical issue. I think many people in the state of Florida are concerned about the environment, and this seems to be a pretty clear threat to the environment we have in the West, and that possibly even our drinking water is going to be threatened with something like that. I think it's going to be important to see a lot of public skepticism about the application to do oil drilling, and I'm actually very happy to see some of our government officials coming out against this. So I hope to see not only Mayor Messam but some of the other government officials in Broward County speaking out against the application for oil drilling.
Ms. Shalava, thank you for being here this evening. Can you tell us how you heard about the oil drilling in the Everglades?
Yes, the City of Miramar newsletter I received in my email.
And why is this issue important to you?
It's something that involves our precious ecosystem, our water system, and it's something that should not ever happen now or in the near future. So I'm here to find out what we can do to protect us, maybe put something in our charter regarding this to further protect our city. Also, too, if we need to get the Environmental Protection Agency involved as well.
Great. And as a resident, what are you expecting to get out of the meeting from this evening?
Just some more information other than what I received from the newspapers.
Is there anything else that you would like to add regarding this issue?
Well, I would just like to hope that in the future that there is a class action suit with involved cities, and that we need to be protected, and that this is one of the first of many meetings that we'll be able to do something about it.
Thank you very much for being a part. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here this evening for Miramar TV Presents, the special town hall meeting for oil drilling. Can you tell us why this issue is important to you?
It's primarily an issue for me because I feel that it's going to affect the environment in a negative way, especially the Everglades. It's also a county issue in which the county has expressed its opposition to oil drilling.
And what are you anticipating to get out of tonight's meeting?
Probably just general information as to why it's a negative impact on the Everglades and the cities as a whole.
Are you a resident of the City of Miramar?
I am a resident of Pembroke Pines, so we're very close neighbors.
Good. So you know that this affects your area too. And thank you for being here this evening. And please, if you have any other questions for the town hall meeting, feel free to ask while there. And we thank you for participating. And can you tell us how you heard about this, the oil drilling issue?
Got it on my computer. It was email.
The Miramar newsletter?
Yes.
And why is this issue important to you?
Well, for me personally, it's first of all, I think it's going to very badly affect the environment in many, many ways, between the plants and the water and the animals, and I could go on.
Yes, I have the same concern for the environment, and yeah, basically the environment.
And what do you hope to gain out of the meeting this evening?
Well, what I hope to gain is that we're able to make the point that we don't believe it's a good thing to have oil drilling that close to Miramar at this time.
Yes, I would like to see it a rethinking on the whole thing, and I am particularly concerned also after I saw what happened. I'm not even sure where this place is, but where that 100-mile Yellow River. I'm sure they're going to be very careful, but accidents do happen, which can affect us.
Are there any last words that you would like to say regarding the issue?
No, not really. That's good.
Well, thank you so much for being a part of Miramar TV Presents, and thank you for being concerned residents of Miramar. Thank you. How did you hear about the drilling application?
Actually, there was an article in the Miramar Gazette that I read about it, and I was very disturbed when I read it. So I started asking our club about it, and then I got an email from the Miramar Democratic Club about it, and they were encouraging everyone to go to the meeting over there in Broward. I guess it was a couple of weeks ago where the Broward commissioners voted on it, and they voted against it. But you know, the concern is it really a dead issue, or is it going to end up in Tallahassee now and become something that's a real threat to all of us? I mean, you can't live without water. And the Biscayne Aquifer is our fresh water and provides water for all of us. And you just can't take that chance. You don't gamble with it. I mean, that's why people don't want the Keystone Pipeline. I mean, the threats against our aquifers. And here in South Florida, even right now, we're in the midst of a drought, even though we're having our rain. Technically speaking, our level of water is not as high as it should be. So, I mean, we just can't risk having any damage to the aquifer. And if you talk to water management, we had them come and speak with us at one of our Davie Democratic clubs. So we were all very well educated on fracking, oil drilling, what's happening with the water intrusion, because as the water levels are rising, that also intrudes on your fresh water. So they have to move the drills, what they call, not the wells, yes, they have to move the wells further and further west. It's a very big concern. The tragedy is most people aren't aware of it.
hence the town hall meeting this evening. So what do you wish to gain out of tonight's meeting, just for you, but for the Democratic Club of Davie at large?
Well, we want to see it. I can't speak for all of the Davie Democratic Club, or maybe again, I don't know. But we want to see it squashed. I think we want to make sure that there's no threat to our drinking water. And that's the key, number one. We have an obligation as citizens. You know, we have to preserve everything as much as we can for future generations. And we just can't keep taking and using the environment without any with disregard for everything.
Well, we thank you very much for being here this evening, and it takes residents and concerned citizens like yourselves to bring alertness to a cause and to make sure that the residents' voices are heard. So we thank you for being here.
Well, it's my pleasure. Thank you very much.
Can you tell us how you heard about the oil drilling application?
I got your email. That's how it happened. No, and Wayne Messam told me about it himself. To me, it's kind of a long shot this is ever going to happen. We're in pretty good shape out here. The county commission would have to submit a variance, and 9 of them oppose it. So we're in pretty good shape here, I believe, regardless of what happens here today.
Good. So why is this important to you, this issue?
Well, we can't be having oil drilling 6 miles outside of Miramar. I'm not opposed to it every place that it exists, but that's some sensitive area out there, and the aquifer would be soiled forever, and there's nothing we could do to fix it. So I think it's very important that we don't do this.
Well, we thank you for being here. I know that the meeting's about to get started. Thank you so much for sharing your insight with us, and please, if you can share that with the audience inside, I know that they greatly appreciate the information.
Will do. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The Miramar TV presents Mayor Wayne Messam's Oil Drilling Town Hall Meeting. Thank you.
We're here to discuss the oil drilling application filed by Cantor Real Estate, and you'll find out more about the specifics about the application and application process. We're also here to talk about or to understand the risk to our natural resources, which will include our water supply and the Everglades. And also, which is a big question for many folks, is basically what is the permitting process. So we hope that when you leave here today, you'll have a general understanding of at least what the steps are in terms of the permitting process that'll make this, that the Cantor Real Estate LLC is looking for, it has applied to be able to obtain an oil drilling permit. And we also want to discuss options to oppose the application as a united front. Some important factors on why this issue is important. Obviously, we're all concerned about the risk oil drilling can have on our environment and our water supply. And we can look, no further than some of the devastating effects of the BP oil spill that took place on the Gulf, right here in the state of Florida, as well as neighboring states. And it's just unthinkable to think about a catastrophic event that could potentially take place here just so close to our community. And also our constituents as elected officials, they expect their representatives to be proactive when in terms of looking out for their interests. And I think that we all would agree, any oil drilling activity just outside of our community is an interest of our residents, and our residents want to know what are we going to do about it to ensure that their interests are protected, as well as our natural resources and our water supply.
But the purpose of it is to provide some information on the relative risk of the Cantor exploratory well to the water resources for not only Miramar, but also Broward County. So first, let's identify what the oil potential is and what the target horizon is. The target horizon is the Sunnyland Trend. It's 145 miles in length, about 12 miles in width. It extends from Lee County on down into Miami-Dade County. And you had 14 oil discoveries in the last 70 years, 8 active oil fields currently. And during the last 70 some odd years, you had approximately 120 million gallons, 120 million barrels of oil produced from the Sunnyland Trend. One of the biggest problems is, or one of the mitigating problems is that you have the intermediate confining unit that separates the Biscayne from the Florida aquifer. So any surface spills that occur, because you have a tight confinement and the pressure within the floor and aquifer is higher than land surface, it can't go downward. So those are some of the better things related to the use of the flooring and protection of the resource itself. What's going to happen, or is proposed by the permit, is once they set this intermediate casing to 3,800 feet, they're going to drill from 3,800 feet to 11,800 feet. And then they're going to test the formation to figure out whether they have any oil and gas in that formation. If they do, they're going to install another steel casing in place, which is 5.5 inches in diameter that will extend to the top of the reservoir. If not, what they're going to do is cement that hole back up and potentially remove some of the casings and restore the site to as required by DEP.